we turn to the phone lines, and one of the top wide receiving prospects in all of the NFL draft is on the phone line. He was almost 2 full seconds faster than me at this year's NFL Scouting Combine. With his 4.27 40 and so much more about him that has so many scouts ready to maybe make him the first wide receiver name called in a couple of Thursdays from now. He is Henry Ruggs III of Alabama football. How are you, Henry?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fine. What's your training like right now, sir?
Pretty much just finding what I can do. You know, I got a little weight set in the house, so lifting weights, trying to do something every day, and wherever I find green grass is where I can do a little, field work.
You're lifting weights, huh? What does that do to help lifting weights for you, Henry?
Yeah, I'm just trying to build upper body strength, trying to get a little bigger.
Okay, get a little more swole. It's funny, because Deion Sanders, who I work with, always hates it whenever we show defensive backs lifting weights at the combine, because he said he never had to put Jerry Rice across his chest and lift him. That was his way of saying that. So the fact that you're out there in the weight room, that probably makes you a little bit of a difference maker in the wide receiver front, Henry, huh?
Yeah, just trying to get that physical side of me, going into a man's game now. So got to be a little more physical and have that, that edge with me.
Okay, so for those who maybe need to know what makes you tick, Henry? Why are you as good as you have shown on the football field, in your estimation?
Probably just one, the motivation I have, because my best friend just gave me, that confidence and that drive to be the best at everything and always compete. And second on that, my competitiveness. I never like to lose.
When you say your friend, who are you referring to, Henry?
Roderick Scott.
Now, tell me about Roderick, and I know that you give a three-fingered salute after every touchdown you score, but tell me about him.
He was a guy that I met when I was younger, and I met him through competition playing basketball. We became closer when we got to high school, and pretty much we just became like family. And he was a guy that saw something in me before I saw something in myself, and he pushed me to be the best that I could be, and helped me develop that confidence and the mentality that no one can tell you what you can and can't do, that you can always be the best.
So for those who may not know his story, walk us through his story, and again, why you revere him so that you memorialize him when you score.
Well, once again, like I said, he was that guy that motivated me to do everything. We became best friends. He was the only guy that, knew almost everything about me and what was going on in my life. My best friend, treated him like a brother. And tragically, he was killed in a car accident in the car that I was supposed to be in and possibly driving, because I had got sick. And, it's just honoring his memory every day.
Henry Ruggs III here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, and so who you mentor your game after? Who do you think you would remind people of, Henry?
I honestly can't say one person. I'm a guy that tries to be different, tries to have my own, unique twist of things. And, I kind of take after more than one person. I try to get something from different receivers and different guys and incorporate it into my game and make a different mixture.
So then who'd you admire growing up? Who did you say, I want to be like that guy when I get to the NFL, and now you're about to get into the NFL, Henry?
Crazy thing is, honestly, as a kid growing up, I never watched football.
Okay, now, you grew up in Alabama, didn't you, Henry?
Yes.
Okay, that's I think, I know it's a free country and we have a First Amendment. I think that's illegal to say growing up in Alabama, correct? You can't just say that.
Almost.
So, all right, let me walk through this. The sport, you were a hoops guy? Is that who you were younger or still are? Or
yeah, I say basketball was my favorite thing to do.
Okay, and then how'd you get into football then?
Well, I played younger. I played Little League. Played 1 year of junior high in
Okay.
the 8th grade, and I did pretty good. At those stages, and I was pretty much just called out in high school saying that I couldn't perform on that level, on a high school level. I couldn't do this and couldn't do that, and the coaches always told me that I wouldn't be a basketball player because I wasn't tall enough or I didn't do this well enough, and it was pretty much just once again a competitive thing that I went out just to show them what I could and couldn't do.
Okay, so now some NFL players think that they can be in the NBA. I would proffer to say a lot of tight ends have had the opportunity to maybe go in the NBA and chose the NFL instead. Do you think you could be a two-sport star if you had that opportunity, Henry? How good are you? How good is your game?
Well, now honestly, now no,
Okay.
I haven't been working on my game like that.
Okay.
Back in high school when I was with Rod and we were going to the gym 3 or 4 times a day, I believe I could have stood a chance.
Okay, so now who's your game? What's your game look like there? I mean, who would you have modeled yourself after there at 5'11"? Henry.
Russell Westbrook.
Now, I mean, which means what? You get triple doubles coming out of you? Is that basically what you're saying, Henry?
I'm a high energy guy. I'm going, I always do everything at full speed, and I'm a high flyer.
Russell Westbrook is aiming quite high, Henry. I mean, you could definitely beat him, in a race. That's for sure, right? That is for sure. Henry Ruggs III here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so what's the competition like with you and Jerry Jeudy like? Walk me through that, because it looks like it's going to be up to either the two of you or CeeDee Lamb to be the first name called. Is there a competition between you two guys?
As far as the draft, we're like family. We're happy for each other, and whatever happens happens. But at the end of the day, of course, we're competing for a job, and just like at Alabama, we competed to just to make each other better. And I feel like that's gonna push all of us over that edge and make us better players and better people.
Well, where does that competition come from? Is that the head coach? Would he fostering all of that stuff for you?
Honestly, it was something that just started within the room. We all wanted to be the best, and it was a pretty talented room. So we all pretty much knew that we had to take advantage of every opportunity that we had and make the most out of everything. And that just started the competition between us to make sure that we were the most efficient guys that were playing.
Okay, so who was the most vocal guy in telling Tua to get you the ball?
I'd probably say Judy was the more vocal guy when it came to Tua. He would go to Tua more. Me, I was more laid back. I didn't really say much, unless I felt I needed to. But Smitty was the guy that went to the coaches. So we all had a different way of going about things.
To the coaches? So, who went to the coaches? Who?
So if it's in the heat of the game and Smitty thinks he sees something, he'll go over to he'll go over to Sark and tell him, hey, I see this, or tell Coach Wiggins, hey, I see this, come to me.
Right.
But Judy, he like I said, he'll run the tour and tell him like, hey, look at me on this one, look for me on this one.
Right.
I speak when I feel like I need to make my play, but that's just how everybody went about it.
Well, you speak with your feet, Henry Ruggs III, do you not? That's what you speak with.
Yeah, I speak inside the lines, with my plays.
Right, and then you speak on the film too. You speak in the film room. You point out, look at me, right there with green grass all around me. Correct?
Yeah. You gotta show yourself sometime.
I bet. I love that. You're the least vocal, essentially, out of all the guys on your team. All right. Henry, I've been asking this question of all the Alabama Crimson Tide players that have come on this show. Tua, we just had Jedrick Wills yesterday. Jerry was on last week. Jerry Jeudy was on last week. I asked them all the same question. What's the most upset you've seen Nick Saban ever?
Oh. Probably Iron Bowl.
Iron Bowl. Walk me through that one, Henry.
It was just. It was. I feel like it was. He said it was the start of the game. Even before the game in the locker room, I guess he wasn't feeling the same energy. And he was kind of coming at us like that. And I mean, it was something that just carried over, throughout the game, and he let us feel that entire night.
So, did he ever come up to you? Did you ever do something that required his attention with you specifically, Henry?
Yeah, freshman year, versus Arkansas. I muffed 2 punts. I got the first one back,
right,
and the second one I ended up losing. And yeah, that was a time where he kind of came at me and let me know some things, and that didn't end too well.
Let you know some things. That's one way to put it. How did it make you a better player, though, Henry? How did he improve you with that?
I mean, it just made me focus more, and you kind of pay attention to the little things. That was one thing. He always told me my hands were too low on punt return.
Okay.
And that was something that I really didn't see or didn't really feel until I watched the film, and he pointed it out to me.
Would you like to know the answers of your other teammates to the questions, Henry?
Yeah.
Okay. Tua said the most upset he saw Nick was after he took that sack before he threw the touchdown to win the national championship game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was.
You remember that one, right?
Yeah, I remember that one.
He said, however, it was only topped by the fact that when Nick, despite winning it, went up to Tua to coach him on don't do that again, and Tua kind of gave him a "but what about that throw" response. That's what he. That was his answer. Jedrick Wills's answer was that against Oklahoma, after a penalty backed them up, he had a false start and then an illegal procedure in the consecutive snaps after that. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one too.
Okay, very good. Were you looking out of the side of your eye to see how coach was handling all that at the time?
And, a lot of those things, even if you don't see it, you can see them on the play or when you play it back on the television.
You check that out. And Wills backed up what Jerry Jeudy had to say. The most upset Jerry ever saw him was at practice where some poor member of the staff handed Nick the wrong straw hat. You remember that?
Oh, man.
You remember that one?
These are all moments. Yeah, these are all moments.
And Jedrick said that was only matched by the time that somebody threw the coach's shoes out without asking and then gave him a new pair of shoes that weren't as good. That was another one. Mm-hmm. Am I bringing back memories for you, Henry, right now?
Yeah, you actually just made me think of another moment.
Yeah.
Oh, what game was it? I wouldn't say it was Clemson in the playoffs, the semifinal game.
Mm-hmm.
And we were up, and I guess we threw a pass, and he ended up getting ran over on the sideline.
Okay.
And he went to Coach Daboll and let him have it because he wanted to run the ball and run the clock out, and we threw a pass, and I really feel like it was just because he got ran over.
Well, it may have made it worse though, right? It's like he called run, he wanted run. Instead, there's a pass, and then the result of the pass is him getting run over, too. That probably made it worse. That probably made it worse.
He went crazy.
But it helps you get ready for the next level, doesn't it? I mean, you probably have seen it all, Henry. That's probably going to give you a little bit of help, I think, a leg up coming in to the league.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think?
Definitely.
Okay. Hey, Henry, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing what you do at the next level. And you have a good shot at being the first name called. And if you do, I'll be thinking of you, and we'll come regardless of where you're drafted. Once you're drafted, get you back here and just talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
I look forward to it. Thanks for the call, Henry. You take care of yourself.
All right.
You got it. That's Henry Ruggs III, right here on the Rich Eisen Show.